Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. Disney tries their hand yet again at retelling a classic tale, this time one that their company has not done in animated form thus far. So, in that sense, it's much more along the lines of Oz the Great and Powerful than it is Beauty and the Beast. But the trailers for this one were giving me definite Alice in Wonderland vibes. So where do we end up when it comes to quality? Are we closer to the enchanting Cinderella or the dud that was Alice through the looking glass? Well, in terms of style and quality, the latter. But let's go ahead and start off with those positives. First of all, I loved Keira Knightley in this film. I think that her performance is probably going to get a lot of hate, but we all know I love me some camp, some over the top, some slightly ridiculous in my films, and I think Keira Knightley does it so well in this movie. She stays in that character. I loved most everything about her choice as an actress, outside of the final scene her character appears in. Not so great. But everything up until then is just campy enough, just light enough. She is a sugar plum fairy, and I thought it worked so well. Mackenzie Foy is also very nice as our lead. I actually want to say pretty much all of our characters do a very, very solid job. But Mackenzie Foy obviously is our main focus. She is the lead of the film, and she carries it all very well. She has a lot of charisma. She has poise to her, and you enjoy her presence in the film. Also, a special shout out to Jaden Fawara Knight, who plays our Nutcracker, Philip. He is very charming. He has a nice charisma to him. He has a nice chemistry with our lead, and it just worked really nicely. As for the big names, the prestige names of Morgan Freeman and Helen Mirren, well, they are definitely small roles. Helen Mirren looks like she's doing well. That wig, though, whew, oh, I don't know why they put her in that. But she does fine. Morgan Freeman does fine. They just have very small roles. But I definitely want to talk about Misty Copeland. Because I'm so happy to see her in this film. I'm so happy that an actual ballerina is highly billed in this film. Her name is on the poster. She's part of the marquee. And she's been very prevalent in the marketing material. And her sequence is one of the best sequences in the movie. When we actually get dancing, when we get that ballet, it's beautiful and mesmerizing. I actually think the ballet sequence is the strongest sequence in the entire film. It's just absolutely breathtaking, and she really is breathtaking in the sequence itself. The score is also fantastic. So what they do so beautifully with this score is take music from the classical ballet, The Nutcracker, and just kind of transform it into this whole other beast. Of course, we get even classical waltz thrown in, but we get the music from the ballet and just transform it to what it needs to be for this story. And I thought it worked really, really well. The costume designs, as is always going to be the case in these Disney live action fairy tale movies, is breathtaking. All of the costumes, most of the hair is very beautiful in this film. The set designs themselves are beautiful, and most of these special effects are done very well as well. I also really enjoyed these like circus characters, these clowns that we got in the film. They were very inventive and cool thing to incorporate. And the like slight horror segment when we go into the fourth realm was really cool. Like that was another like show-stopping set piece in the film. And this little mouse is adorable. He is one of my favorite characters in the film. I thought he had so much character to him, so much personality without speaking English, and it really worked for me. And overall, the film has some nice things to say about grief and how we individually handle grief or positive ways to deal with grief. So that was nice as well. And that is plenty of positives for this film because overall, it felt like Alice Through the Looking Glass. This felt very in line with the Alice in Wonderland films that Disney has produced. Aesthetically, it looked just like them. While there are all of these fantastical elements, it has this very strange darkness to it visually. So you never get that big, enchanting feeling that the film clearly is trying to portray. We don't really go into the lands that should feel big and enchanting. We don't get those grand, beautiful places. We're stuck mostly to the palace and then over to that fourth, darker realm. It's a shame because there is so much beautiful, intricate work going on here, but it just is kind of bogged down by this weirdly dark palette overall. Also, some of that green screen effects and a few of the visual effects in general, ooh, not so great. But really, this follows like beat by beat the first Alice in Wonderland, if I'm being honest. If we're talking just straight up story, it's almost identical. These two warring queens, a returning person from a family lineage, and this person is the savior that everyone has been waiting for, the return. And she even gets this military outfit that looks very similar to the outfit that Alice wears in her film going into battle. And all of this in an enchanted land in which time has stopped once you're in there. So you come back out and you're pretty much in the same place. And much like those Alice films, it feels pretty hollow. It moves pretty slow, and it felt a whole lot longer than it actually was, which isn't a good thing. In particular, the beginning is so slow. I think it really takes its time getting to anywhere that we care to be at. Really doesn't get interesting until we start getting into any sort of action at all, because there's not enough wonder, there's not enough whimsy, there's not enough grand fantasy to go along with the story that we're being told. So you kind of just are like, okay, when are we gonna get to the point here? When are we gonna get to something that we care about? And like so many of these Disney live action films recently, it has a very hollow feeling to it. Much like a Christmas ornament. It is beautiful, sparkly, shiny on the outside, but there's just not much going on when you crack open that glass shell. Also, the logic of the time didn't hold up. They show you the logic in the film. These people are still moving at a decent enough pace that all of that time you're passing in your realm, you wouldn't just pop up and it'd be like, oh, we missed you for the last 5 minutes. No, more time would have passed in the real world. And of course, our main conflict, our twist, could have been solved if somebody just spoke. It always seems like people kind of like mince their words or don't want to actually speak. They speak in roundabout riddle type of ways and don't get to the point. And then we could have gotten to that final point a whole lot sooner. So overall, Nutcracker in the Four Realms is another meh rendition of this classic fairy tale that unfortunately falls right in line with the latest Disney trend of live action films. The sets are lovely, the costumes are beautiful, the idea of this world is grand and wonderful, but the story literally rips off their other live action fairy tales. There's just no substance to make the story as interesting as it deserved to be. So honestly, I say give Nutcracker and the Four Realms a rental. If you fall asleep, you're not going to miss a whole lot, and you're not going to waste a whole lot of money. It is beautiful enough to see on the big screen, but it's not of the quality, so I have to stick with that rental recommendation. So that is my review of The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Nutcracker and the Four Realms? And what is your favorite version of The Nutcracker to date? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!